Hi Stampers, how are you today? This is JilliBling and I have another project using Flowering Tulips. So I plan on making 5 in this grouping and I have a cutoff date of March 15th. If you order the bundle through me, I would love to send you card kits for all 5 of the projects. This is number 3. What do you think? And I saw this on Pinterest from Loritamarie Crafts, and not sure what she did on the inside, but I wanted to keep it a little bit simple. But this card, walking up to it this morning, because I worked on it last night, it's so pretty, it's so bright and fresh, and it's kind of surprising that there's not that much stamping on it. I kept thinking I need to do more, but I just love how it turned out. So Flowering Tulips Bundle, we'll be using the thank you, and then also let today be the start of something new. Just kind of fun. I mean, everyone could always start something new. So here are my papers. This is for doing the inside. We'll do that in just a minute. Iridescent rhinestone jewels. I love them. So on here, okay, how about if we start with these two, should be 2, little papers, and that is what's going to make the focal point. So here's the stamp, and I'm going to stamp it in Poppy, one of them, and then in Memento Black, a second one. Memento. Good. And then Poppy. Here, don't mind my mess. I think that if I got a new set of cleaner things, they would just get dirty again. So, and you know, every once in a while I put these into the washer. So they do get cleaned. It's just they're stained. Okay. That should be good. That's good. Okay, and then I'm going to do it again in Poppy and cut out the thank you. Okay. So this, I was looking for my layering circles dies, and they are all being busy right now, so I had to revert to one of my favorites, Stitch Shapes, but it probably would be better if you use the layering circles die. It would be a little bit smaller of a circle. But for now, for today, we'll use this one. Okay, and then this piece here will be hand cut, and it doesn't have to be perfect because you're putting white paper with a stamped image right on top of white paper with a stamped image. So even if you're not a perfect cutter, it's okay, because I see I didn't do that little equal border around it all, but it's just fine. It'll be covered up. Or it will be white on white, but you can't see. Okay, so that will go on there with dimensionals. And the little detailed part of the U just because I'm right-handed, it's kind of curling upward. So I stuck it down with liquid glue, and I might do that again. So this goes right on top. So this little piece here, I kept on snagging it. It's like, okay, we have to stop that. So just a little bit of liquid glue. And I'll let this sit off to the side. Maybe. I need something tiny to hold it down. There it goes, it's sticking down. Okay, so this piece here, hippo dies. Hippo dies are my favorite. I need to make a point. I've never used that stamp set, but I've used the dies every chance I get. So look at that, it's stitched on both sides. So I'm going to cut it out of vellum, and that's what does this vellum piece right back here. So here's that. These pieces are for the flowers. And this bundle, first of all, the first two projects, we've used the stamps, which are lovely. But it comes along with all these little dies. Just a minute. This might be easier to show you. All these little pieces. And it makes at least 3 different very unique, and that's the leaves, very unique flowers. And I did an extra flower and an extra stem and extra leaf for the inside. Okay, all those pieces. But look at this here. You're like, what is that? It folds and it turns into a flower. They are so cute. They are so 3D. And Stampin' Up! Okay, so I'm going to put these off to the side. Stampin' Up! So kindly gives you 3 repeats of this one die right here, which seems to go in every one of the flowers. So for the flowers, for instance this one, just fold it in half, and you put one of these oval pieces right in there. But I want to sponge it first. So there's one flower. Each one of them are so unique. 2. 3. And then I looked at all of these flowers and decided which one is my favorite. I like that one the best. Therefore, I put it on the inside. But see what the sponging does? It gives it a little bit of extra dimension. So fold that one over. Okay, so for the inside is this. Here's the other 3. Now I was trying to make this into a flower, but looking at the catalog, like I think it could be a flower like that, but looking at the catalog, they put it into this one right here. So I'm going to do that too, because I don't know. And if you know, leave me ideas in the comments. Okay, but before we start assembling these, I want to use my daffodil. This is Daffodil Delight paper. I'm going to use my daffodil ink and daffodil sponge. And the sponging makes all the difference. Here, I'll show you the difference between, just for instance, like if you put this together, that's really cute. But look at it when it's sponged. You just see the outlines a little bit better. So, one extra step. We can do it. We can do it. Woo! So I'm going to sponge here. maybe going into there a little bit. And there's a little bit of a pattern from the die on here. If you want to go across the top trying to pick up some of the die. Then, when you fold this one in, you might see some of this top part, not so much the back that has the pattern on it. So I'm going to sponge this top part, and then this guy. Okay, so to build it, and I'm not sure how everyone else does it, but lately I've been on a kick with half glue, half dimensional. And I've been liking it, so let's just keep with that. Half glue, half dimensional. And I'm putting this little oval piece, not so much what it looks like down in here, because that will be covered, but more to make the top of the flower. Then this will fold over. Hope you could see the glue through there. Maybe I should move it. Okay, a little bit lower. Okay, and I'm going to put some more glue under this piece right down here, and then another dimensional up there. So that could go there. And just a little glue here. Okay. One flower done. Isn't that cute? Okay. So, got all these pieces out. I should do all the sponging. This one, sponge on the front. This middle piece, then on the front. I think you can't go wrong. No matter what you do, it's going to look good. It's just like an extra added touch. Oh, this is that same one. This is the one for the inside. And maybe a little at the bottom. Okay. And then we'll do the same with the green leaves and stems. Okay, that is good. Just a hint of color. Okay, those go together. So let's start building this one. Dimensional right about there. Liquid glue here. And then these little trapdoors close. So this little guy here, this little sliver, I'm just going to do liquid glue and then glue and dimensional on the bigger piece. And I don't think you could go wrong however you choose to put these together. I'm trying to keep my glue thin because I want it to dry. I don't want to sit there and have to hold it. Like I might have to with that flower. You know that flower? Hold on. Hold on. Don't stick too much. This piece here, I think it wants to go up higher. Okay, too high. Okay. How did I do it on here? So this one I have up just a little bit higher. Okay, that's the third time I've taken it apart. Okay, that's going to be it. Actually, that looks good. Okay, you know what? I have this little clip thing. This came from Flowers and Balloon. Look at that. I need a bunch of those. Or binder clips. Okay, liquid glue. Dimensional. Maybe right here. I don't know, I keep changing my mind on everything. Okay, liquid glue here, here. Dimensional there. So I had somebody contact me saying, okay, I know you're going to be doing those daffodils. How do you assemble them? I'm like, oh, I need to try it. I don't know. But they all come together pretty good. Here's 1, 2, that's the inside one. One more. This one has the extra pieces. So I'm looking at this. This one that kind of looks like a heart is back behind, and then the oval one is in the front. That's going to be lots of dimensionals and glue. Okay, let's see if it stays like that. That's looking good. And then the oval, can cover up. That's like double-decker dimensional. Ooh, look at that one. Okay, so this one, it just might have to be all liquid glue. It's getting too thick. Okay, flowers done. Flowers are drying. Okay, cute. So now is stems and leaves. And I'm using Pear Pizzazz, Pear Sponge. So I'm mostly going to do the leaves. On my sample, I did just the top part of the leaves, but then when I was working on the inside flower, it's like I did the top and the bottom, and it looks better. So wherever there is not sponging, it kind of makes it look a little bit raised. So don't those look a bit more 3D compared to this? I think they do. So for these, trying to hold them and do them is real challenging. So find whatever is right side up, and maybe just a little bit of color at the top and the bottom, if you want. But it's hard to get just the outside edges of it. And then this one is for the inside. Oops. And the inside one we're going to cut off part of the length, so it's fine that I kind of crumpled that bit up. Okay, so this is supposed to hold down there. Done with sponging. This, what's going on here? That I need another clip. So this one looks good. That one's kind of popping up a little bit. But that's okay, it makes it more 3D. That one looks really good. Okay, so let's set aside inside, inside, and maybe a big leaf for inside. Okay, so here's all the dies. We went through that, saw how they cut. Oh, we're going to be using linen thread. Okay, we have elements in place, ready to roll. So this is Whisper White Thick, or maybe they're calling it Basic White. Just the thick white cardstock. It's very nice, very thick. Oh, paper, I guess it's made from trees. I have some tree in there, but that's okay. I'm going to put the pretty fancy designer paper over it. So this designer paper is from the Tulips pack. Lovely paper. So that's just a layer. Okay, and then this just gets stuck on here with dimensionals. Nothing fancy, no ribbon in advance. Okay, I'm going to have it up just a little bit high, kind of being artsy. Let me make sure that's straight. That looks good. Okay, and then I would say attach the vellum, but if you've ever worked with vellum, you know that when you put adhesive, I'll put it, because I know that flowers are going to be here. If you put adhesive on there, look how that shows through. So we're going to strategically, here, make it less sticky. We're going to strategically place the adhesive after the flowers are in place. Well, maybe I meant that. Now it's going to kind of hold it in place a little bit. So the flowers, how about this one could be here. I like the layout I have going with this one. And this one can be here. That one got really smushed. I guess I put a dimensional down there, but that's okay. It still looks good. This one could be down here. This one could kind of be in the wind a little bit. Because you know the tulips get so heavy that they lean over. Okay, so now for the stems. So the stems at this point, I'm going to put them on, and I'm just going to focus on the circle will go here. So I want all the stems to come together close to the middle. This one I want it bending that way. And this one can go straight down. Okay, so I will start assembling flowers. See, maybe it was a good thing I put that vellum with just a little bit of stick. And I'm going to put one more dimensional up here at the top, but I'll wait until I attach the vellum. So for right now, I'll go just like that. And I want to keep the dimensionals toward the center of the flower so that I could tuck the leaves underneath. Oh, that one could use two. Maybe I'll do a mini. Okay, and then this one, how about right there? And you know what? I noticed my stems, they're not all coming together. Oh, I could pull them together. One more dimensional. Got a double. Okay, just like that. So now that I have the flowers on, I know where I could put adhesive on the underside of the vellum. And the circle with the greeting will go here, so I could have adhesive all under there. Okay, so if I turn it over, adhesive could go up here, here, a whole bunch down here. And I'm fine if most of the vellum or half of the vellum is kind of floating, because it's pretty, it's paper vellum, and it will stay right there in place. So this one could go like that, and all those pieces go together. Okay, so let's put some of these leaves on. So the leaves I want to put on, that's inside flower. This thing came in handy. Who knew? So these, just see where they look good. I like how that one came out. It's nice that you could do it either side up is good. And maybe right about under here a little. I don't want to cover up too much of that flower. Maybe just three. Three it is. So I know the circle is going to be on a dimensional, so let me kind of lasso all those stems in. I'm going to do something a little fancy with those. Okay, so for the leaves, start with the easy one. Dimensional, liquid glue, okay, this one I'm going to do all liquid glue. That looks good. Okay, so the words will go here, but as you can see on the sample, there's this big old bow, just a regular bow in linen thread. So linen thread, I kind of straighten it out a little bit. On the spool it gets like it's curly hair. So big old bow. And with the dimensionals I could adjust the final bow, but for right now, there's my big old bow. So on the back side of the words, I'm going to put more dimensionals than I should because they're going to hold down the words and hold down the bow. And when I did the sample, it kept popping up. So I thought, I just need to use more dimensionals. Okay, that's a lot. And one in the middle. So I'll put this in the middle to start. I'm looking at this top part, okay, and just putting where I want each of these bow pieces to be placed. And I like that it's a little bit random. Okay, but before I go any further, that might end up with a double dimensional. I'm going to cut all these off. And I'll show you why in just a minute. So this could go on here. I wonder if this dimensional, I'm going to take it off. Just because I have so many on that circle, I don't want double. Well, if there's some life in it, there. Help me hold stuff down. Okay, so put it so the words are straight. That's why I had it there. It's to corral those. I put it up a little bit higher. Okay. Good, good. And it's a little, the bow is a little off-centered, but that's okay. In nature, if there were twigs underneath the daffodils, that would just be natural. So now I'm going to stick these little bits on exactly where I want them, rather than, okay, I thought I might have to do that. Trim it. So there's one. So this one I'll have a little shorter. And then this one, kind of off to the side a little bit. So that's a little bit shorter, and this one is the off to the side. Because that makes it look more like a bouquet. Okay, so lastly is rhinestones. So I will put on, how about 5 today? So I'll do a big one. That's too centered. Right there. And a medium one. Oop, I lost the glue dot. And then 3 little ones. These are just so pretty. I know that they're on back order right now. I think everyone is loving them. I know I'm loving them. Keep using them over and over. So if you got some, oh, you could see the adhesive through there. I'll try to cover it up. Okay. So now for the inside, we will do, well, let's do the words. So on the words, just like the front of the card, I have it two-toned where it's stamped in black and stamped in Poppy Parade. So let's do the same thing for this. So memento, good, and then Poppy Parade. And that's just for the 2 words. And I have some scrap paper that I'll be stamping that on right here. And if you can, on your scrap paper, put the word something right along the bottom, and then you don't have to trim it. Okay, and then the word today. You still might have to trim it, but we could try. Okay, looking good. So the word today, see how I stamped it right kind of parallel with the bottom of the paper? Now I only have 3 sides to cut. And again, because this is white on white, if you don't cut exactly perfect, like I could see it's a little bit too big up there. I have small amount of space and big amount of space. It's okay because it's white on white. This, I think I'm going to trim it because that looks really big. Okay, so these just get placed right on top. somewhat close. I'm looking at where the T is down here, and my red, my Poppy Parade T is. Okay, there it is. And where are those little pieces for the inside? Oh, I got two. Oh, that's right. I had an extra leaf. Well, let's see if it could go on here. So if this one goes here, or maybe right in the middle. Oh, that's kind of cute. That could go there. I'm sure there's one side that should be the top and the bottom, but that's okay. What do you think? Doesn't leave much room to write. I think I'm going to go back to this way. Okay, so I'll start out with, and I'm going to use liquid glue. Even though I built the flower with dimensional, I'm going to try to keep dimensionals out of the inside of the card. Try. Well, I think it should be leaning this way. Okay. I really like how the sponging made it look a little 3D. I could go a little bit over the border, but not too much. Because, see on this one, I had the leaf way over here, and when I closed it, I kept on kind of wrinkling it up. So I put glue under there, let it dry. I wish it was in just 1/16 of an inch. So I can't go over too far. Oop. Just a little bit. Okay, got glue on my Poppy Parade paper, but that's okay. This, I think this time I'm just going to cut it off right here. Okay, just time for assembly. Could you imagine like a whole huge, instead of a 3-flower bouquet, like a 10-flower? Let's see, glue on that side, so put it on this side. Just a nice little layer, brings all the colors together. That would be really pretty. So this is project number 3 out of 5 for the Flowering Tulips Bundle. And we have a few days left of celebration. So with this, you're really close to earning a free item from the celebration catalog. I will put all the products used and a link to my store so you could get them all on my blog, and my blog is JilliBling.com. Thank you for watching and for tuning in. I hope you have a great day. Bye.